In countless industries around the world, Otis graduates pursue unprecedented opportunities in our fast-paced society. They leap imaginatively across vocational borders. Fine artists become special effects wizards, and interior designers become theme park builders. With their creativity, their skill, and their vision, they tell the story best. Cynthia Vincent, owner and designer, 12th Street by Cynthia Vincent.
I always knew that I wanted to go into fashion, or thought I wanted to go into fashion. I think I told my mom when I was 6 that that's what I wanted to do. Otis was great for me. I first found it during high school. I did the high school summer program. Definitely in school, I was probably a little more rebellious and wanted to go more towards the creative end of it. Otis definitely prepared me for the real world of fashion. I think my first job in London was a huge example to me. There were a lot of incredibly talented and creative designers out of London, but when it came to actually knowing the calendar and knowing how to put garments together and the functionality of it and wearability of it, that's where it really showed me how much I had learned.
Bobby Sagan, toy design.
This program does make us real-world ready in a lot of different aspects. We handle everything to do with toys, from obviously the design process, the actual physical making process, as well as the business and marketing aspect. We have to present our ideas every semester to a group of real-world designers, and they don't sugarcoat things, they don't pull any punches, so you know exactly where you stand, which is really nice. Every semester you can say, okay, I had 2 people that didn't like my idea. Next semester I'm going to see if I can just win them all over. I was going to University of Michigan, and there were some things that happened that were not the best timed, but eventually what I ended up having to do was I had to drop out of school. I had to take my brother and my sister, who were 16 and 17 at the time, and I was about 19 or 20. And we moved out, I got a job, and I had to support them. And it was kind of weird because I'm 20 years old and I have like 2 teenage kids and a mother to take care of, and it was an eye-opening experience. My decision to come to Otis doesn't just affect me, it affects my entire family. I cherish my childhood a lot, and a lot of that is because I had to grow up so fast. So the little things that I find that are fun and whimsical and light, especially throughout this toy design program, makes me relive my childhood, or at least makes me live the childhood that I missed.
Elena Del Rio, director, Copland Del Rio Gallery.
I was at Otis for 4 years. It really helped me as a person to really develop and figure out who I was. Right now I have 3 artists in my stable who are Otis alum. I actually have a manager who's an Otis alum, who's 25. It's almost like working with a second family. Otis opened the door for me to get to the level where I am now. I didn't go into the fine art department thinking that I was going to eventually want to open up my own business and be an arts promoter. Now I'm busy building other artist careers, which somewhere along the line it became much more satisfying and gratifying for me than worrying about my own career.
Richard Message, fashion design.
As a child, I really loved playing with clothes. Then I'd watch the movies. I always loved seeing all the clothes. I really love drawing evening clothes to make people look more glamorous. I'm not sure about the future after graduation because I have so many interests in design, but I feel I have a lot to prove, not only to the people I love, but to other deaf people who feel they have to settle for less than their dream. Being at Otis, I feel comfortable and I've gained some independence. I'd never been away from home before, so it's been a very interesting experience living on my own.
Grace Nomasa, fine arts.
I was more of a figurative painter. I painted people, and it just seemed like there was only so far I could go with it, so this kind of developed out of it. So instead of focusing on the outer structure, I started to focus on the inner structure, and so that's why I came to the circle or the cell, because I thought that's how the physical body is made. This year I got the group scholarship, and it helped a great deal. For this particular scholarship, we had to have a luncheon, and we did a presentation of all of our work. I sold 4 paintings that day because that's all I had. It was exciting, and it was kind of nerve-wracking at the same time. I think I'm more of a problem solver, and so maybe that's why painting keeps my interest, because there's always something I didn't know, something I'll discover. So I guess it's a good medium for me.
Siobhan Hicks, Creative Director and President, Heaven Spot.
Heaven Spot comes from graffiti terminology for a tag that is placed on a freeway sign or a freeway overpass, any place that's really high up. I've started Heaven Spot as just kind of a portfolio site, just so people would have some place to go. Because I felt that, saying SiobhanHicks.com or something would be a little bit too egomaniacal. Although that was what I was known for at Otis, was a great ego, so I was sort of rejecting that whole thing. I'm a graphic designer primarily. We do a lot of motion graphics, we do website design, and we do basically anything that requires graphic design, from t-shirts to, we've done air fresheners for cars, movie posters, anything that comes our way, really. Otis has opened doors for me in the sense that I've gone to a school that has such a great reputation, and when people ask me where I went to school, I tell them Otis, and their eyes light up. When I meet someone else, a young artist who's from Otis, I kind of feel like, oh, he's in my tribe. I give him a little more love. All the freelancers that I use, and most of the artists that work with me are from Otis. So I'm happy to be a part and giving back to the school that gave me so much. Seriously.
As Otis alumni blaze the trail with provocative, enlivening work, the next generation enters the real world. Otis College of Art and Design.